Y'all just fun.
Y'all know me, Big the Legend G, with my co-host Initial D, bringing that heat in the Twitch street. Grab your popcorn, kick up your feet, sit back, relax. We about to blow. Welcome to our channel. Enjoy the show. Ayy.
Hard conversation, brain stimulation, BGID, no imitation. Look, pull up on the mic. Two bitty guys is rocking the night. Sub on YouTube and follow on Twitch. I guarantee it's gonna be a hit. It's showtime. Fire, banger.
My bad.
Dude,
I didn't realize the music stopped.
man, I was just repeating the words like. Dude, I only hear it once a week, and when I do, it's like,
Right.
I'm telling you, bro. I said it once, I say it again. You already know, man. Whenever we remember, we need to go ahead and cut a track, man.
Go on, cut the track.
Let's go ahead and do it. So, what's good, folks? YouTube, Twitch, wherever you are in this world. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode of the Two Bearded Guys podcast. We are on episode 36.
Yep. 36.
36, man. We're starting to get close to the age group.
Man, what?
We're starting to get up there, man. So wow, I'm proud of us. Let me just state that. Like, I am proud of us. You know what I'm saying? For just being so consistent. And
that is true.
And intentional too.
That's the word of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Intentionality.
Intentionality, man. Like, bro, that's a word that I don't know. Personally, I don't hear every day.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like people need to practice it.
Yeah.
You know, it's one thing to say you're gonna do something, and then it's another to actually do what you say you're gonna do.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know,
most
and a lot
definitely.
I think we all might be a little guilty of that. You know, saying we're gonna do something and then, you know, just don't do it for whatever reason. Not necessarily out of laziness, but you know, life happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just don't prioritize things on a high level like we do others, and you know.
Yeah. I mean, that's something that you talked about since 2024, honestly, you know, and you personally have definitely taken that word to heart, you know, being intentional about what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. You know, I think everybody is like that at some point in their life. They're intentional. They want to be intentional about their goals. I mean, obviously you can kind of see that between the both of us right now. So, but you know, I think it all comes down to, you know, if you got your mind set to something, most definitely, you know, be intentional about what you do.
Yeah, it's almost like a switch that goes off when you're when you're just kind of tired of being tired or just kind of sick of yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like for me, like I'm at a point in my life where I personally feel like it's now or never with certain things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like this is just me. I mean, I could be wrong. Like, I feel like I should be in a different position than I am right now. But then again, you know, that's all relevant. Everybody's different. You know, some people don't arrive where they want to, right when they want to. I've seen those like commercials on YouTube of people who are like 70 something years old graduating from college.
Yeah.
You know, or 60 something years old going to get their GED, or you know, just things like that. So I'm like, yeah, let's just not compare one another. You'll get there when you get there. But at the same time, we'll never get where we want to be if we don't practice some intentionality. You know, you can talk, but what are you doing?
Yep. Facts. Big facts.
You
Big
feel me?
facts.
So, what's up, Carlos? Carlos in the house. Go Didi. Likes the setup. What's good? What's good? Hey, this is the lab right here. This is the lab. This is the lab. Carlos, how have you been? Carlos says, life is always happening. Yeah, it don't stop. It's like a stream.
Mm-hmm.
Stop, bro. Like life just it just pushes and it don't. And the thing is, it doesn't care. Life don't care.
Life don't care.
Dude, life does not care what you're going through. Life doesn't care whether you're healthy. Life don't care if you got bills. Life just don't care. It's like, yeah, well, hey, I'm here. Deal with it.
Yeah. Man, it is what it is.
Straight up, man. Straight like that.
Take the bull by the horns and go.
So before we get into our little small talk, I want to say, thanks so much everybody out there who's here on both YouTube and Twitch, because we are both live on YouTube and Twitch. So if you're not subscribed over to the YouTube channel, it's Two Bearded Guys. You may want to hit the @ like type in the @ in the search and then Two Bearded Guys, then it'll take you directly to us. Because if you just type that in, you might get like some other miscellaneous channels that might have died off that somebody made 10 years ago.
Yeah,
I learned that last year. Putting the @ takes you straight to who you're looking for. So the YouTube handle helps a lot. So I'm glad YouTube provided that for the content creators. But if you're not, go over there and subscribe to us. It is free. And be sure to like the stream as well. It helps out the channel tremendously. And if you're over here on Twitch, just give us a follow. Sit back, relax. If you want to chat, we always love to engage with everybody. And for the most part, it's just I almost said it's another Wednesday, but it's Thursday. So we moved to Thursday.
Yep. Gives me some more time to cause chaos somewhere.
Look, hey, do what you got to do, man. What's the world without chaos?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Let's see. Carlos says, let me read that comment. Oh. We are good. Baby is back sick, so we're taking care of that situation. I feel you. My youngest, I don't know what's wrong with him. To be honest with you. I mean, he got allergies, sinuses. Like, it's always something with him. Like, he's okay, but he's just it's pollen season, so he's like coughing and sneezing and all that stuff. I mean, he's all right, but he seems to get hit a little bit harder than the rest of us. So, but I wouldn't.
That's tough.
Yes.
Especially as a kid.
Yeah. You know how it goes, though. You got to wear them hand and foot. So when I was out, I got him some cough drops because he's coughing a lot. So Mama got the Vicks. He don't like medicine, so there's no cough syrup happening. Earlier, we tried to give him some bubblegum Tylenol, and we sat at the table for 30 minutes. 30 minutes. And when I say I started losing my patience, I said, boy, I'm going to get my belt. And I did. I got the belt. I thought that was going to be enough to get him to swallow it, but it wasn't. I said, do I got to use this? Are you serious? So, hey, I don't say what y'all want. I don't care. Okay, I got whoopings when I was a kid. I passed that down to my generation. So it's an art to like whooping. You know what I'm saying? You can you can fold. You got the technique. You can fold the belt. You know what I'm saying? Dangle it. You can that's right. You can take the whip approach, like straighten it out, like.
Look, my boy just called his nickname gonna be Simba because he laughed in the face of danger.
Listen, you gonna listen to me. I'm telling you. I said, dude, you're making this so hard on yourself right now. Like, just take the medicine. And he finally took it after about 30 minutes, and not realizing like this is for you, man. This is to help you out. You know, you're the one that
We're gonna have to discuss this after stream.
Yes, to be continued. All right. Anyway, so how was your week, man? And I know we go back and forth throughout the week, but this is the first time we actually. Well, this is the second time I've seen you live. You know, ever since my butt dial the other day.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that one. But my week has been good. It's been busy. We got a lot of stuff happening at work right now. So between that and getting ready for the day tomorrow, it's been good. They finally let the wolf out of his cage at work. So now it's just like rawr.
Right.
So
well, it's been a long time coming for you, though. You know, you kind of you've been waiting for this, so it's just time. You know, I can tell that you're a lot more active, I'd say, throughout the day.
Yeah, very. Because all I do is just sit here and be like, oh, I gotta do this, and then I can just, don't really talk to anybody all day. So it's like, while I do my work, I can do whatever else I can do.
Gotcha. So yeah, so I mean, I don't really have much to report, to be honest. You know, my situation is similar to yours, just busy, with work. It's spring break this week, so the kids have been out of school ever since Monday. So Monday and Tuesday, they stayed the night at grandma's. So that was I can't even say it was a break, man, because I was barely home. So I mean, and then, before I knew it, it was time for them to come back home on Wednesday. So, so it is what it is. But I'm not gonna complain about being busy. You know, there's some people out here who would love to be busy right now.
Yeah.
So I mean, not so much to where I can't live life, but busy enough to where I can, just handle business and
yeah.
This life is life and not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. I am struggling a little bit. I will be honest with that, though. I'm struggling with self-care. I have not had a massage in probably well over a year. I haven't been to a chiropractor since October, and my body feels it. Like it feels it, man. Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, I still work out. Don't get me wrong. I get about 3 to 4 days of working out for about 35 to 45 minutes, which is pretty much all I need. I used to, but I don't anymore. I don't stay in the gym for very long. I know what I want to do. I get in, I take very short breaks, and I'm out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I still feel like I need some, some hands laid on me. I need some hands on me. I need somebody to touch me.
Some holy anointing.
I need something, man. Seriously, man. My neck. I was gonna say my back. That's why I paused. That's why I paused.
Let's not go back to those Freaknik days, okay? Let's not do
that. I mean, I tell my kids all the time. I say, y'all don't know. Y'all don't know what it was like being a millennial in high school. You think
look.
You think you know.
You don't know.
We felt grown.
All the way grown. All the way.
Super Saiyan grown, Carla said. The neck, the back, never mind. hey, they know what it is down there too.
You know what it is down there. That's crazy. Carlos said D needs some healing touches. He needs some of them DBD heals. That's what he needs.
A sensu beam, man. Somebody give me a sensu beam, man. I'm feeling beat up. But it's all good though. It's a season, like I said. It's interesting when you pray for something and it happens.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But what I think what some people don't think about is like, are you ready for what you prayed for? Are you sure you're ready for what you prayed for? Because the bigger the prayers, the larger the responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
So I know for me, I think I told you not. I think I told everybody last week. I'm doing a lot of like classes now, and I'm also getting some new one-on-one clients. I actually got what I thought was one today, and it ended up turning into 3.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah, just 3 for 1. I was like, dang.
I mean, hey.
I had a conversation with this woman. Basically want me to train all her kids.
Oh, cool.
So they're between the ages of 15 and 18. I told her, what she was looking at, and she said, I know it's steep, but it's worth it. I said, I'm glad you feel that way. Glad you feel that way. So, but yeah, it's gonna be getting even busier going into the month of April, and much like you, we're gonna be moving May 1st. So Carlos, I don't think you were here last week when we took me and Bearded gave our news. Wait a minute, I think he watched it back. Maybe. In case you didn't know, me and Bearded, we're not moving in together, but we are moving. Don't get too excited. I'm like, oh, 2 bearded guys under one roof? Nah, but we are moving. It's a big upgrade. Like I said, God is good all the time.
And all the time,
God
is good.
Carlos said, hold on, what did he say? He said, I've been seeing some of them classes 3 times a day. Yes. Yeah, because Carlos follow me everywhere. So he see everything. So like
same here.
oh yeah, so I got a all right. So I feel kind of bad about this. About a week or 2 ago, King Ozio had called me. I was in the car driving. I was, I only go to work, folks. That's it. In the grocery store and in school. I don't go nowhere else. Nowhere. So if you see me, that's probably in a car. I'm headed to one of those 3 places. But anyway, he called me and I didn't answer because I was like, I'll call him back when I get a chance. And I forgot. And then some days went by and time went by and stuff. And we yeah, you're in the group chat with me and Retro Nate and Bear and him too. And I don't really say, this was around the time I really wasn't talking much. So I didn't say anything in that chat. And then he texted me like the day before yesterday. He said, "Are you alive or what?" I was like, I said, "Bro, I am so sorry. I am alive. I promise you, I'm alive." And I told him what was going on with me, and he was like, "Wow, I understand. I get it." Because I haven't really having the activity on Twitter. I literally just reactivated my X account, so I haven't made a tweet since February the 12th, is what it said. And then, when you kind of fall off the face of the earth and you don't say anything, and the initial D Instagram account is deactivated. I might reactivate that one soon too. I just needed a break from everything last month.
Yeah.
People started to kind of be concerned. Like, hey, man,
yeah.
What's going on? Are you okay? I'm like, I'm okay. And I always tell people, like, if you have my phone number, then you must be really something. You can't get in touch with me no other way. And if you don't have my number, then you don't really know me.
Right.
That's just how I see it. So, what's up, Guru? Guru dude, and I bet Guru's like one of them guys too. Like, where the heck is Alicia T at?
Yeah. It's like we don't see a tweet every 30 minutes.
I know, right? Every 20 to 30 minutes, like something's wrong. Like nothing's wrong. Everything is fine over this way. Good to see you, Guru. How have you been? Oh, Carlos says, he's talking to Guru, dude. I got you. I got you. I got you. So, well, we I guess we could just go ahead and dive into today's topic. I mean, we're like 17 minutes into this thing, and you know how it goes. We just do some 911. I want to report a missing person. Yeah, you can pick that. Let me see if I can find it.
He hasn't tweeted in 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Wow. Y'all cut me some slack, man. Where's my emu at? See, I don't even know my own way around Twitch anymore. There it is. Yeah, if you're on Twitch, you put that picture right there on that milk carton. Put that picture on the milk carton. Have you seen this guy? Yeah, maybe.
That is hilarious. Oh, that is hilarious.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm starting to miss it a little bit now. I am. I'm starting to miss it. Anytime I take these long hiatuses, I start,
Yeah.
I start missing it. And maybe that just be what I need. It's just a big break sometimes. So just to recalibrate stuff. So
hey, look, what you just said can segue into our topic tonight. Because a man's got to do what a man's got to do.
That's right. Yes, a man has got to do what a man's got to do. I'm telling you. Carlos said, taking some time off social media. Yes, sir. Yes, and that was me all of last month. All of last month. So, I mean, you know what? I can share a little bit, with y'all. We've all known each other for quite some time, of course. But last month was a very large, I won't say large, but just a lot of big decisions had to happen for me last month. And it all just kind of like fell in my lap all at once. And I was starting to feel like very overwhelmed. Like, have y'all ever like had to make a choice and you didn't have a lot of time to make that choice? That was me.
Yeah.
That was me. So, me being the Christian that I am, I just retreat to, the presence of God. So I said, I can't talk to anybody right now. I can't. Like, if I don't know you're not close, like I can't talk to nobody. I can't be distracted or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I took that initiative and I did that. I just kind of without saying anything, just dropped off the face of the earth, I didn't feel like it was my responsibility to really say anything. That might not sound nice, but the truth is, if you go off of social media for like a week or two, like very few people will notice. Very few people will, unless somebody knows you personally, and they will reach out to you and see if you're okay. But for me, it took well over a month for that to happen. So, because people follow a whole lot of different people, and like, has a person ever like come to your mind that you just thought about random? Like, dang, I ain't heard from such and such in a minute, and then you look them up.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes their profile ain't there, or sometimes you can see they haven't said anything for a while, and that was kind of my situation right there. So
yeah,
but I did what I felt like I needed to do, and when I say I had so much peace and so much like mental clarity during that time period, it was like, if this is what it's like not being on social media, I kind of just want to like stay away from it forever. And I said that at first. I was like, what would I be giving up if I decided to not go back on social media? Because folks, that's hard. That's like very hard for like the modern day person
mm-hmm.
who depends on social media for their livelihood. I get 95% of my leads from the internet, social media, that is. So
yeah,
to walk away from it is very, very hard. So I was like, maybe I won't leave it. Maybe I'll just get off of it for as long as I can until I'm a little bit more disciplined with it. because I'm not gonna lie, I'm one of those type of people, or was one of those type of people that would be everywhere, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all day long, just all day. Waste, and, I would justify it for business, but then there was a lot of times I would be wasting my time with it too.
Yeah.
So pulling back from it was one of the best decisions I could have ever made. It helped me make some really big decisions and just open my eyes in a lot of different ways. So
Yeah.
that's what I had to do.
Yeah.
Guru said, I seen these IG posts here and there. Yes. Yeah, you follow me on Instagram, alive.
Yeah. So yeah, this topic tonight, I mean, obviously it's kind of for the fellas, but ladies, if y'all are in the building, feel free to chime in as well. Not saying that y'all don't know what it feels like to be a man, because I mean, technically you don't, but
No.
But feel free to chime in, because you might have had some experiences with your significant other that you've seen and things like that. So,
Well, women are also quick to say, you don't know what it's like to be a woman.
That is true. That is very true.
Unapologetically, you don't know what it's like to be a man.
Respectfully.
You don't. But this is a great space to learn.
Yes.
I would personally encourage ladies for y'all to stay and listen. In case you maybe you married, or you got a partner, or you're somebody that wants to be involved with somebody and you want to be married. I think it's good for you to listen to some two married men here, give y'all some nuggets to meditate on, in case you want to use that for the future.
Oh yeah. So I guess we can pose the question to the chat. Have you ever been in a situation where you had to make a choice as a man? Fellas, chime in. Have you ever had to make a big decision, when it came to yourself, like your mental health, or your family or anything like that? Because we as men, we grew up being taught we are the providers, we are the breadwinners, we are supposed to be everything. We supposed to have the world on our shoulders, and sometimes it's hard, like D said with his situation, he got overwhelmed. We all get overwhelmed with stuff, and how do y'all handle that? Do you just get silent and take it all at once, or do you plan it out, be intentional about what's more important with all these situations that you got going on?
Right. Yeah. So y'all go ahead and kind of ponder and think about that. So I know, me and you, like I said, we come from we got two different backgrounds. We're a lot alike, but we also got different backgrounds, different living situations and stuff. And I can honestly say, like, I remember how I was before I was a father, and was nothing the way that I am now. Fatherhood changed the way that I think. It changed my courses of action, how I handle things. So every decision that I make, I'm thinking about my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Making sure that they have everything that they need, and then some. That's just me. Some people, we got a roof over our head, we got clothes on our back, we got food, we got all that too. But if I want to do a little something extra, then I'm gonna do that. That's just me. So when I'm making decisions, I'm always, and my wife too, so I can't exclude her. So my family. So my family is always on my mind every single day, with every decision that I make. So I'm always strategizing as far as what can I do to level us up, even if it's by 2%,
Yeah.
3%, 4%? Because a lot of guys, they try to bite off a little bit more than they can chew, and then they end up getting overwhelmed and they get burnt out and tired and
Mm-hmm.
all different type of things. I remember I had a conversation with a guy about 2 years ago. I used to go to church with. I saw him sitting in church with his wife and his kids, and I shot him a text the next day. I said, "Man, I just want to tell you that you're doing a great job. Just taking care of your family and all this different type of stuff."
Yeah.
And he said, "Man, I'm glad you said that because I feel like such a failure sometimes," is what he said. Now he would never openly just say that, but I could tell that's what he was feeling at the moment. I don't know why he felt that way or what made him feel that way, but I can relate. I can understand
Yeah. Yeah.
because sometimes we can plan things out and we can make decisions. Sometimes those decisions are um, risky. That's one thing. That's where I'm at right now in my life, where I'm not taking the safe route. If that makes any sense. Like some people,
Yeah.
I know it sounds. Just hear me out. I know it sounds crazy to say that I'm not taking the safe route, but you got life is about risks, man. Like somebody told me something about a month or so ago. A good friend of mine. He's like, "Listen, you will never know what you can do unless you get put in a situation that you're not used to. Like that
Right.
potential that's within you will come out, especially if you have a family,
Mm-hmm.
whether you have children or if you just have a spouse, like that's still your family, your family, whether you have kids or
Yeah.
not. Um, Being put in those like risky situations does bring out another side of you to make you rest assured that the decision that you made was the right decision.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like my decision to move was a big decision, and it is risky, honestly, but um, I know that it's gonna work, and of course, I got faith that it's gonna work out.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just a leap of faith, man. Like, what is the point in being super careful all the time? Like, but you can be too careful that it'll keep you idle, and then
Right. Yeah.
then you'll find yourself not really like moving forward in life. And that's what I'm on right now. I'm just trying to move forward in life. And in order to do that, big decisions need to be made. You gotta put your big boy pants on
Mm-hmm.
and just, if you take a L, okay, take the L and get up. Keep
Yeah.
moving,
And
you
I
know.
think that, yeah. I think that's a very hard pill to swallow when it comes to men, because we are prideful. Let's just be honest. We're very prideful. So
Yes.
like when we take that L, it's like I don't want to try this again until I'm, confident that it's gonna happen this time. And I
Yeah.
think that's something that we have to I think this is something as men that we have to come to the realization. We take L's and we get back up. I Wasn't it Rocky that said it doesn't matter how hard you get punched, but
Just keep getting back up.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
So I mean I think that's something that we need to work on. And not just men, women the same way, but we as men take it harder for sure because we wear our emotions on our sleeves, so wear our hearts on our sleeves, all that good, all that stuff. So
Right. Guru says when there's a big problem, decision change, turn to prayer. In the car or wherever, prayer, faith goes a long way. Yes.
man, amen
Yes.
to that.
Guru, let me tell you something. That's when I took my break last month. I don't think I was on my knees more ever in my life. But again, I felt so like powerful, spiritually, you know what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
and getting my prayers answered, and getting that assurance and that peace, that peace as well, because we're gonna, everyone's gonna have them problems come up in those decisions and stuff and changes that come up. So, and everyone has their own way of dealing with it, and some people don't deal with it at all.
Yeah.
They just kind of let it happen, or just go to a corner and kind of hope it goes away. Nah, man, it's still there.
Oh yeah. It's always gonna be there until you make the decision to do something with it.
Exactly. Let me see. So we were talking about this earlier. We selected this topic because, number one, we're both married. And, I know some of y'all out there may not be married. And again, you don't have to be. You don't have to be married because, you may aspire to be. But we just hope that, what we're saying here, it will inspire you in some sort of way, or at least allow you to have an insight as to, how we do things, in our home. The title, a man's got to do what a man's got to do. Honestly, in my home, I am the leader. I am the captain. But I'm not right. Crafty, I know you somewhere, right? She probably like side eyeing right now. Like, watch it.
couch for you, Bucko.
Just watch it. But yeah, I'm the captain, but I'm not a dictator either. You know, um, men are supposed to be the leaders of their home.
Mm-hmm.
I see the opposite a lot in a lot of homes, and it's chaotic. The woman's making the decisions for the family. Guys kind of like agreeing with everything she says and not really taking that initiative like all women want. Like, I don't care what y'all say, ladies, you want a man that takes initiative. Yes, you do. Don't let Miss Independent fool you. That ain't real. That's music. It's not real, not reality. So, but yeah, every woman wants to be led. Every woman wants to be protected, I feel. So for me, I'm always, well, not always, every so often, I will talk to my wife and, just kind of ask her, like, how am I doing? And be honest. Like, whatever you say, it's okay. Just tell me, where how am I leading right now?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything I could improve? Is there anything that you like, that you don't like? My leadership skills, my parenting skills, all these different type of things. And I think that it takes a real man to actually ask for some critique, to his spouse, because a lot of guys, they rule with an iron fist and they're like, look, it's my way and it's what it is.
It is what it is. Yep.
But we pride ourselves on trying to keep our home a specific way. Like, we try to keep everything positive and happy, and we're a family of faith, so there's a lot of we don't really do a lot of secular stuff in my home, and it pays off. It does. But that's me though. That's on me. That was a personal decision that I made for my family. I always say, if I have a family, I know how I want to raise them. I know how I want things to turn out. That doesn't mean they're going to be perfect and they're not going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
But I'm grateful that my family is submissive to me. They're submissive. And that lady, a lot of ladies don't like that word. They don't like that word submissive, the Bible says, wives submit to your husbands.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Guys love to use that, but you got to read the rest of it, man. You got to read the rest of it. Come on now. It says, husbands, love your wives as you would love yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a very crucial verse that says, if you don't treat your wife correctly, your prayers will be hindered. So, God won't even hear from you. You know what I'm saying? If you're talking some type of way to your wife.
Right, right. And to your point, and kind of to what Carlos is saying, we're in a partnership. You got to look at it like this. God designed woman. God designed Eve to be Adam's helper.
Yes.
So
Key point.
he designed wives to be helpers.
Yeah.
So how can a man, or as a husband, boyfriend, whatever the case may be, how can he help his family grow if he's not allowing his wife or significant other to help him?
I don't think that everybody views marriage the same. There's a lot of people who don't subscribe to biblical marriage. And they just, just married. In their eyes, I love you, you love me, just married. And they're not thinking about the actual original origins of the intentions of marriage. They don't think about that. And this is why divorce is like over 70% now. 75% actually, because a lot of people don't know why they're married. They just don't. On one end, you have the husband that wants to do everything and not listen to the wife. When a lot of women, I mean, there's some exceptions, but a lot of women really do just want to help. The husband be the best version of himself. Like my wife, she's always looking out for my well-being. Making sure that I'm getting rest. She'll call it out. She's like, "You're tired. You need to go to sleep." Or maybe you should like take tomorrow off, or she'll do stuff like that. Stuff I know I wouldn't do. When I hear her say that, that's not her telling me what to do. That's her giving her opinion, and in a helpful way, she's help me.
Right.
And I honor it. So I'm like, okay, you're right, because it's looking out for my best interest. Because us men, like, we're gonna do what we got to do. If we need to work for 12 hours a day, that's what we're going to do. If we need to work 6-7 days a week, that's what we're going to do. And then very little sleep at that.
Yeah. Let's see. Carlos says, we are in a partnership. There are decisions that need to be made by one or the other or both together. But we as men, one should have a grasp of our actions and where one is lacking. That last statement is very, very true. And I think a lot of us men, we overlook that part. Not the part of where we're lacking, because again, we wear our hearts on our sleeves, so we feel like we got to go big or go home. And when we mess up, we don't even see where we messed up. We just like, I don't know what happened, but I'm gonna keep on going.
Right. Let's see. Guru said, as they say, communication is key.
Yes. Yeah.
That it is. One person is not always right. 4 eyes look for more than two, and 2 heads should be able to see the situation from different angles. Yes,
That is a solid point.
it really is. And that is very true. Like in my home, like there's some things that I don't catch that she does, and there's some things that I catch that she doesn't. So it's true. It's like what Carlos said. It's a partnership. It's about working together, of course. But as far as like men stepping into that role of leadership in their home, like how do you feel about guys that let their wives take the initiative? I think we've all kind of seen yeah, forgive me, y'all, but the woman that has got a big mouth, and you can just kind of tell that it's gonna be her way or it's gonna be a problem.
Mm.
And then the guy's like, whatever you say, sure. I do this just to keep the peace, etc. So how do you feel about guys that are I guess you want to say submissive?
That's what you call a yes man. That's what they call them now. Yes man.
Yes, man.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of guys out there that's like, nah, that ain't how it should go. I personally really don't like it. Because like Carlos said, it makes you look like a pushover, or they're walking all over you, and it shouldn't be that way. It should be, God made you the head of the household. You are supposed to lead your family, not only in faith, but physically as well. So it is. Oh, yeah, yes, man. Oh my goodness.
Let me tell you something. So me and the wife, we're reading this book here, and let me back it up. Well, I got that green screen right there. It's,
yeah. We can see it.
Okay, it's called Kingdom Marriage by Tony Evans.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm on like chapter 6 right now. But what I've gathered so far from reading that book is two things. Number one, marriage is a covenant, and it is a partnership, as you say, Carlos. But the responsibility that falls on the man is just so obvious.
Mm-hmm.
It's so obvious to where you were here first.
Yeah.
It was you that was here first, not her. Like if we go back to Genesis 3, to where Eve ate the whatever it was, the fruit.
Yeah.
People speculate what kind of fruit. It ain't important, but she ate the fruit and then gave it to Adam. And God said, who told you were naked? And Adam said, it was the woman that you gave me that made me do this. I said, well, you only been here for what? A day?
Like a day.
2 days, and you already blaming your wife for what happened. You ain't been here for 2 days. But again, that right there, like not taking the initiative, not taking responsibility,
Mm-hmm.
things happen.
Yeah. That's I ain't gonna say that's a struggle for us. It's a struggle for some, taking the initiative. Because even if it looks good, we probably still question it. Some men still question, I guess, the initiative behind it. It's like, do I really want to do this? So,
right. Let's see,
ooh, Carlos, you better stop it, sir.
Lead, not dominate. So many get that part wrong. They think that one should dominate their significant other, is able to lead the family, but that's wrong. You know what? Y'all remember Maury Povich, the Maury Show? You ever seen? I'm sure you
are
have.
not the father.
You ever seen those one episodes about ruling husbands?
Mm-hmm.
Or like husbands from hell, and they would just like come on the show and say, my wife barks like a dog and she's going to give me sex anytime I want, and you better have that dinner done in 5 minutes or less. So I'm like, this can't be real.
Can't be real, but it's
Can't be
definitely real.
I can't. I say it's men out here that act like this.
Crazy, right?
Like, wow.
And the sad part about that is, they see it from past generations.
Yeah. Yeah, they see it from past generations because I don't know, women have had it hard. Oh my gosh, and still do in certain countries.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like a lot of countries in like India, for instance, and it's just really bad. And I could just talk about India all day. How the women over there just have no rights whatsoever, and I feel like they treat animals better, and that's sad.
Yeah.
You know, they have husbands, and their husbands can get away with anything they want, can do what they want. They can cheat on their wife, but the wife can't do nothing. She can't leave. She kind of just got to take it. And if he wants to divorce her, he can, you know, with no type of like protection for her.
Mm-hmm.
And if he wants to leave her for, you know, maybe for a younger woman or something, because that stuff happens a lot over there in the East.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess before we get into our next comment, does anybody have any questions that they would like to bring to the table? Feel free to put them in the comments below.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you ain't got to be married. You know, just give us your perspective. You know, give us your take. You know, because I think that, you know, whether you're single or married, you still have an opinion. You know, as far as like your role as a man in relationships. Carlos says Adam shifting the blame around.
You know us now. We don't like to get in trouble. We'll blame it on anybody.
It was the woman that you gave me. He should sound like you tried to. I said not only did you threw Eve under the bus, you blamed God Himself. Like you gave her to me.
It's your fault.
I said I didn't tell you to take my rib. I was fine. No, you weren't. You weren't okay, man. You had some needs, buddy. You had some needs. You needed her.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Guru says you should look on YouTube for how Alec Baldwin's wife acted towards him when being interviewed. If you didn't see it, recently happened. Example of disrespect. I have to check that out.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen it?
Mm-mm. It's my first time hearing about it. Interesting. And then Carlos, from that wrong mindset of dominate to lead, we have gotten the love influencers that are single but want to tell others how to treat / dominate their significant other. Ooh, yes, we've gotten a lot of those. Like you see them everywhere, and it's like, are you really thinking about that yourself? Like, do you really feel that way? Why do you feel that way? It's like when you see it, it's like, why do you feel that way? Why do you feel like you have to dominate to lead?
Well, again, I think it's a lot of. It could be a lot of different reasons. Like you said, it could be something that they witnessed growing up. It could be a culture thing. Um, you know, just really bad examples. Like I think that I remember we were talking to some friends of ours, a couple, and they remember they were both telling us like we didn't really see any great. No, yeah, we were reading this book together, and in the book it says we didn't. People who tend to have issues in their marriage like this never really saw a true marriage before. Like they just saw what they saw, and then they just kind of put the pieces together and think, okay, well, mom, this is how dad acted, and this is how mom acted, and that's it.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it can't be wrong because it's mom and dad. Dad always yelled, so I yell. Dad ever wanted when dad wanted mom to stop talking, he would yell. That's what your son does.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the things that we learned are from my childhood. They have a lot to do with the final product of us being an adult.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna kind of switch gears here. While we talk about, a man's got to do what a man's got to do. This is something that you and I and the fellas we always talk about, and this is, mental health when it comes to a man. Fellas, if you need help, it is nothing wrong with saying I need help. The two of us, I mean, honestly, that's how me, D, Bear, and Flash, that's how we got together. That's how we really grew close together, because we open up to each other, you know. And I think it's a great thing to have that circle of people that you can vent to, that won't judge you. They listen and they don't judge.
Right.
But I mean, if you don't have that circle, find a therapist. I know men, we are prideful and we feel like we don't need therapy. We just gonna hold it in and hope that it goes away.
Right.
Go ahead, get that therapy. I know you probably want to save your money. That's understandable, because you don't really want to spend money on somebody that's gonna tell you how you should feel, But I mean, sometimes it's worth it.
I don't think that people realize the power of letting go of things that are on your mind, because you can't always talk to just anybody. Like you can't. Like, I mean, personally, I've made the decision to actually start to see a therapist myself. Now, I've always been the one that people would come to talk, and whenever they had a problem, it's been like that most of my life. I feel like since high school, even to this day. And I was talking to one of my clients about, because he's been seeing the therapist for the last couple of years, because he had some trauma from having to retire from the NFL early because of injury. They really put him in a dark place. And I've seen the changes in him and stuff like that. So I told him, I said, can I get your therapist information? So, he gave him my information and like so. And, I just want to tell people, like, nothing has to necessarily be wrong for you to want to see a therapist. Like, nothing's got to be wrong. Good to see you. I hit you up on Twitter. Oh yeah, have a great night, Guru. Thanks for pulling up on this.
Later, brother.
We appreciate you, man. Have a great night. But yeah, I just felt like I needed to, try something different for me. Just talk. I got y'all, of course, and there's a few other people too that I talk to, but I just wanted to try what I advocate for, because I've never done therapy before. Just wanted to give it a shot. But yes, we do need to, and if you don't have the money for a therapist, make sure you got somebody that you trust dearly. I was talking to a friend of mine this morning, and I was waiting on my next appointment, but he just so happened to be up at the studio, and we sat up there and talked about a good 25, 30 minutes about just a lot of personal stuff that he's like struggling with. And he felt so comfortable saying the things that he said, because we've had these talks before, because he knows me. Like, he knows he knows I'm not going to look at him any different or judge him or anything like that.
Right.
So I always try to, like, and when he's vulnerable, I try to get a little vulnerable too, just to even the playing grounds. That's how you earn trust right there. Like, you gotta open up. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop pretending like everything is okay. Like, there's got to be something you're dealing with internally too, because we all do.
Yeah.
So it's not manly to keep things to yourself. It ain't manly to just deal with it. No, because some men can't deal with it.
Right. Yeah.
You know what
Some
I'm
men
saying? So
cannot deal with it.
no, I mean,
Um, and I would say, even the Bible speaks on it. It says, "Be devoted to one another in brotherly love." Especially when you have that person that you can go to, when you have that circle. If you don't want a therapist or can't afford a therapist, if you got your circle that what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas,
right.
you know.
Yeah, and make sure that it's like that too. And how you know that they're the ones is if they, like I said, they can open up to you too. Like I said, for me and my friend, I told him some stuff too. Like I said, to make it, to kind of seal the deal.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. It's like sealing both sides of the envelope. Like, all right, you open up to me, let me just open up to you. So, and then that's just that. And you tend to feel so much better, after getting it off your chest and talking about it, because a lot of guys, again, they keep their internal issues to themselves. They don't like to talk, and then that can turn into some other bad stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, the world, we do feel like the world's on our shoulders. We do feel like we have a lot of things that we're responsible for, but that's just a part of being a man.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to be cowards. We're not supposed to be timid. We're not supposed to be weak. We're supposed to be strong leaders. Um, just men of valor and integrity.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, we don't see a lot of that anymore. It's
No.
quite the opposite, man.
Yeah.
Don't get me started, man, but quite the opposite.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I'm not gonna lie. This has been a good talk, y'all. Like I said, me and D, we talk nearly every day. So,
Yeah,
just being able to, speak about manly stuff,
yeah.
it's always a refresher, because sometimes we forget what it's like to be a man.
hmm Yeah, you get so wrapped up with your agenda and your schedule and everything that you do, and you forget, man. I don't slow down. I keep going, and it can be a little lonely
Yeah.
sometimes. Like I know some cats that be like, I ain't talking to nobody. I don't want nobody in my business and stuff like that. I'm like, well, somebody's got to be in your business because
Mm-hmm.
you ain't okay.
Yep. Yep. Uh, chat, guys, ladies, do y'all have any questions, concerns, complaints, rebuttals?
Pushback,
Yeah, pushback.
with pushback.
Uh,
Nah,
uh,
but if not, then I mean, I think we pretty much said a mouthful already.
yes.
To be honest, it's these type of conversations right here, are it's appreciated for I know, just not just for you, but for me, and I'm sure those of you out there that are lurking too, and wherever you might be watching, whether you're from Twitch or YouTube. And again, if you're over on YouTube, go ahead and make sure that you subscribe to us, and be sure to like the stream as well, because again, it helps us out a lot. And if you're here on Twitch, give us a follow, and just continue to vibe out. Any plans for you this coming week?
Besides tomorrow and this weekend, just moving everything and getting ready, getting set up and all that good stuff. I will be taking a break, a 2 week break at that. And y'all know me, I don't normally take that long of a break. I think 1 week is probably the max that I've taken.
No, I think you've taken a little bit longer than that before.
Have I?
Mm-hmm. I can't remember what was.
Oh, I think it might have been in December. I took a month-long break.
A month off, yeah.
Yeah, I took a month off. I think that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I'll be taking about a 2-week break just to, get the new setup going, because there will be a new setup. And just focusing on work, because we got a lot of stuff happening with around the summertime, honestly. So I gotta get prepared for that, and just enjoying my new home. Like, really enjoying it. Cause man, I don't know about the weather down there in Florida, but it ain't got chilly again.
Yeah, it is. It'll be 36 degrees tonight.
And look, if it is still cold when I move into this home, I am about to take advantage of this fire pit.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well go ahead and break that thing in, man. I mean, why not?
Man, on a cool, crisp night too. Whew.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how long it's gonna last, but it's down here in Florida, it's really not any different. It's still kind of up and down. Sometimes it's in the 70s, sometimes it's 50s, and now it's going to the 30s. Very weird, very strange weather that we have. But yeah, Carlos says enjoy it.
Yes, don't worry. I most definitely will. Most definitely. What about you?
Same old work. I'm gonna take this. I'm really gonna take this weekend to kind of navigate through that, because I've ever since the beginning of this month, I've just hit the ground running, and I haven't really made a lot of time for me. So I'm a little behind with some of the things I need to do. So I'm gonna take some time to finish that this weekend, and then figure out where I can set some days or some hours throughout the day for myself.
Yeah.
Just do what I need to do as well. We're not moving as soon as you are. Like I said, we got May 1st is when we move in. So, which, we can't wait. We're very, very excited about that. And, yeah, I mean, that's about it. So I do know that, once we're moved in, I'm just, I'm going to really be monitoring just my schedule and stuff like that, and see if I can kind of get some normalcy going again with content. Because I do miss content. I really do. I mean, I make videos here and there, but it's business related for the most part. It's not really me being able to express myself like I want to.
Right.
I think that's what's missing for me, because it makes me feel good. So got to get back to some normalcy sometime, because I know that May is going to be a very busy month. Because again, we got DreamCon at the end of the month. My son graduates. It's just a lot going on. It's gonna be real busy. But we're gonna keep the Two Bearded Guys going. I mean, that's for sure.
Yeah,
so
we definitely keeping that going.
Yeah.
I know next month we're actually gonna have a special stream for you guys. So that's something me and you got to talk about too. But I will say this. Even though I am going to be taking a break, I'm still going to do content. I'm going to do some offline content. Just some offline gameplay, and edit it up, put it on YouTube, all that good stuff. So just be on the lookout for that. But yeah.
Awesome sauce. Well, folks, we really, really hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Whether you were on the purple or the red app, we greatly appreciate all of y'all's support. One more time, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube if you are new. And if you want to take that step forward to support us a little bit more, just share the stream. Share the channel on your social media account, because that's a really, really big help right there. You know, we can reach other people on other platforms all because of you. And again, if you follow us on Twitch, make sure if you're here on Twitch, follow us and check us out, and just tune in for the next episode.
Yep. And in parting words of my favorite wrestler, Jey Uso, 4 letters, 1 word. Later, y'all.
All right, peace out.
Y'all know me, Big the Legend G, with my co-host Initial D, bringing that heat in the Twitch street. Grab your popcorn, kick up your feet, sit back, relax. We about to blow. Welcome to our channel. Enjoy the show. Ayy.
Hard conversation, brain stimulation, BGID, no imitation. Look, pull up on the mic. 2 big guys is rocking the night. Sub on YouTube and follow on Twitch. I guarantee it's gonna be a hit. It's showtime.